really fast gas. Possibly some Banshee shenanigans. Wow, there's both Korean and Chinese on that sign. That's really confusing. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Man, when they select the units or the buildings of both players at once, that is so freaking confusing. Like they just selected the two barracks, right? It was like the same thing with the RorO base last game. I was just like, wait, who's 2-raxing? But it wasn't a 2-rax, they were just comparing the build times. It's crazy, man. Not only can you MBS your own buildings, but you can MBS your opponent's buildings as well! This is madness. This is absolute madness. No, gas just now starting for baby. I keep forgetting who's playing. Hold on, I need to... Let me just like keep my overlay up. Yeah. And it looks like Baby's actually hiding an SCV at the third base of JYJ, so he's going to go in for a scout at a later time. Meanwhile, he has expanded himself. And just hiding there in the corner. I mean, that's hiding a scouting worker at the third is a fairly common thing, so I would think that JYJ would at least be a little bit wary of something like that. Meanwhile, he's going for Banshees, as you can see. Whereas we have 3 racks for Baby after his expansion. So if he builds some mariners here and doesn't use all his energy on mules, I think he'll be okay. Excuse me. So the first Hellion is poking in here. He's going to see the bunker, so that's you know, a pretty big indication to him that it is in fact an expansion here. Also the low number of Marines. So even though the Hellion's not close enough to actually see the command center, JYJ should know that it is a expansion. Meanwhile, the first Banshee is on the way. And there's a scan, a perfectly placed scan. Oh my goodness. Wow. Baby with the brain hacks there, just scanning exactly where everything is. Although it looks like he didn't see the command center being planted. Okay, so he sees the Banshees coming in, but he doesn't know that it's an expansion follow-up. And looks like immediately placing an engineering bay. An interesting place for his engineering, by the way. Putting it right at the top of his ramp. It's almost like he's walling himself in with the engineering bay. Which is kind of funny considering you can't lift it in SC2. So that's just gonna be there. I think that's a fine place though, because like, you know, a lot of times, like when you go for, you know, Marine or Marauder drops or whatever, a lot of times you'll be focusing down the upgrade structures in the main base. So I think to place that in between the main and the natural, where it's like much more easily defendable against drops, is a pretty good idea. And looks like Combat Shield's about to finish here. Does he actually have Stim already? No, looks like he doesn't have Stim actually. He went for Combat Shields before Stim, which is going to prove to be less useful against these Banshees. Although actually, if you get Combat Shields, does it mean the Banshees have to 3-shot your Marines instead of 2-shot? I'm actually not 100% sure. How much damage does the Banshee do exactly? It might mean it has to 3-shot the Marines, but either way I think Stim is probably still more useful, just so that you can just Stim and run under the Banshee and kill it. And it looks like, okay, it does actually take 3 shots now. Oh, he gets it anyway though, even without Stim. Wow. Alright. I guess he didn't need Stim after all, but you know, JYJ's got his own natural up now as well. Didn't really commit too heavily to those Banshees. I don't think he even got Cloak, because he hasn't made a second Banshee that I can see. I guess after he got scanned, he was just like, well, you know, now that Baby scouted it, he's probably going to defend it fine, so there's no real point for me to continue with the Banshee play. And indeed, we see that he switched out the Tech Lab onto a factory instead. And it looks like both players is going for the standard Marine tank style of TVT. There's like no upgrade just yet on the engineering bay. That seems a bit wasteful. I mean, you know, he did just get the engineering bay to get turrets to defend against the Banshees, but you know, if you got it already, then you might as well just get a fast upgrade as well. It's like it smooths out the build, as I guess Day9 would say. You don't want to have a bumpy build where you're getting buildings that aren't being used. And interestingly, it looks like that starport for a little while there was actually being used like a factory is usually used, where it's just like making reactors there and switching them out onto barracks and well, barracks. But now it's gonna go over to the corner, make its own reactor so we can start pumping out those medevacs. I like this little marine. Oh, look at this! Look at this nicely positioned marine and SCV for Baby. That marine, of course, on the side going to spot any drops coming in, and the SCV outside the natural of JYJ is going to spot any big attack coming in. Meanwhile, he is getting a second engineering bay here, so going to get some double upgrades. Once again, note the positioning at the top of the ramp there, so you can easily run back and defend it against drops. And looks like a few Marines now of Baby going to move out, take control of the middle of the map. That Hellion being pulled away in good time, and looks like the third command center is actually already down for Baby. Hasn't turned into an orbital yet, but we'll be able to float over to his third when he feels safe enough. Interestingly, a turret being placed kind of at the edge of the main base there for JYJ. Basically an anti-drop turret. Obviously there's no banshees incoming or anything like that. And in the meantime, I don't know why the observer was so obsessed about that reactor on the starboard. It's like not that big of a deal. He'll just be pumping out some medevacs. And perhaps a couple of Vikings. Yep. Oh, it's actually already got a Viking out. I like that bunker blocking the third base, by the way. I think JYJ has a Hellion at Baby's third to deny it, whereas Baby is just making a bunker there, which he can salvage later on when units start attacking it. So just gonna force JYJ to actually commit some units to killing this before he can take his third. Now, interestingly, I don't think he's actually made a command center yet, so he'll need to, he's going to take down these rocks, he's going to take down that bunker, and then he's going to make the command center, whereas for Baby, his command center was already made in his main, so he's just going to float his out and immediately be able to reap the benefits of that expansion. And it looks like, yep, the bunker is salvaged. That was a cute little repair, by the way, on the SCV, just to make sure that the bunker does stay alive long enough for it to be salvaged, just to save that extra bit of minerals. And it's like +1 attack is already finished for Baby, +1 armor soon to be done as well. And if you look on the other side, there is only one engineering bay for JYJ, so his +1 finished, but his +1 attack finished, but his +1 armor only just started. So he's going to be out upgraded here by Baby. Although, it could just come down to the engagement angle here. I mean, look at this. Baby actually just sieged up in the middle. Or JYJ walks around and scans him, so then Baby's gonna pull back, and oh no, he's gonna go back the front way. Nice use of scans here, and gonna siege up and move back. It's very funny to just see like how often the Brood War players use scan relative to like the StarCraft 2 players. Oh my god! Oh no, he's gonna lose a couple of siege tanks here because they're on siege. Wow! Mistake from JYJ, just leaving his tanks there unsieged, losing 2 of them at the cost of only a couple Marines there and a stim. Wow, that was not ideal. But yeah, one of the interesting things, like when the Flash's StarCraft 2 like FP VOD just came out, like when a couple of games were released on Team Liquid, one of the things people immediately noted was that he used a lot more scans than mules. Like SC2 players are always like, mules are imbalanced, let me just keep dropping mules. But in StarCraft 1 there are no mules. You just only have scans from the concept. So you just keep scanning for positional advantage, especially in TBT. You just have so many command centers, you just keep scanning. So it seems that the Brood War players took a little bit of that over with them, but obviously still going to be using those mules. Ironically, Artosis was actually just talking about this, I think, on State of the Game, where he's like, "Damn, players need to scan more, scan his base, stop dropping mules," or something like that. I mean, it was Artosis, but, whatever. Anyway, looks like a little bit of a Marine drop here. I might just snipe the reactor? Okay, was he targeting the reactor? I would have thought that, killing that reactor on the starport would have been nice. I think he did target it, but he wasn't able to take it down. Meanwhile, a decent group of Marines moving around on the left side here, just sneaking around. Now the thing is, look at this. JYJ scans the army, and he's got to realize, he's like, wait a minute, why do you have no Marines with this army? So if I was JYJ, I'd be a little bit concerned right now, because he doesn't see anything. Oh my god, he's just walking right around the side here, the ninja attack force could just like run into the third and kill everything. And this is so funny because JYJ has like this forward position with his tank, so he's like, yeah, I got map control, I'm in the middle, I got better position, and all of a sudden his third base is just gone. He's like, oh, shit. Uh-oh, here we go, there's the stem. He's gonna lose all the SCVs, all the mules, probably lose the command center as well. Oh man, that command center is going down fast. Oh god, another stim by Baby. He's gotta be a little bit careful, there's only one medevac killing those Marines. And now he's also gonna pick up and drop into the main base. JYJ is not happy about this. He's not even pulling his army back. He's just going to go for an attack, I think. But he's going to walk into siege tanks. And a nice little poke there by Baby, kind of stimming his Marines, forcing the tanks to siege up early. Basically just wants to hold JYJ off because he's done so much damage already. Looks like the main and the drop in the main, rather, gets cleaned up. The main and the drop gets cleaned up. He loaded up an entire main base into his medevac and just dropped it on the enemy. That's like the ultimate bad manner. Instead of like doing a manner nexus or a manner CC, you just actually lift or load your main base into a medevac and drop it in your opponent's main. Pretty sick. Anyway, JYJ's just like lost his entire economy right now. He just lost like 40 SCVs, and he's still losing everything in his natural, and he's deciding he's just not gonna do anything. JYJ's just gonna sit there and take it, man. He's gonna take it. Why? He's decided to kill the destructible rocks. Yes! That is an excellent decision. When your base is under attack, the correct thing to do is kill destructible rocks. You know what? I bet JYJ is actually Dustin Browder's favorite player. JYJ and Dustin Browder, they're like homeboys. Dustin Browder's like, yo, JYJ, let me put some rocks on this map for you. It's like, yeah. Anyway, here's a big engagement. Probably going to be the end for JYJ. And he's gonna get cleaned up easily. Now, to be fair to JYJ, I think he wanted to like kill both the rocks there and like go around from the side and attack Baby's army, but then it just didn't work. GG! And Baby takes the game and takes the series for Team 8. Team 8 has just defeated SKT 4-1, ladies and gentlemen. Bet you didn't see that one coming, because I sure didn't. Oops, not 4-1, but 2-1 for StarCraft 2. But don't go anywhere, guys, because there's going to be another series coming up right after this. It's going to be KT Rolster versus CJ Ensis, which should prove to be quite good. It's quite funny, because when I saw the match today, I was like, okay, SKT is probably going to stomp Team 8, and then we'll get to watch a good match between KT and CJ. But then it was like completely reversed. And Team 8 stomped SKT. So now I'm actually not even sure what's going to happen in KT versus CJ. Hopefully it's still a good match though. Hopefully it's still